The game ain't based on sympathy. I'll leave it at that.
Hey, yo, what's up, YouTube, man? It's your boy Action Jackson, man. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you my thoughts and opinions on the Dallas Cowboys Hall of Fame game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Right now, this is the first half of the video. It's going to be kind of quick and short. But right here, I'm right here on the screen you're looking at right now. These are the many players that are not going to play. And it's not really surprising. I knew Dak wasn't going to play with shoulder soreness. I knew DeMarcus and Amari weren't going to play because of they were on the PUP list almost the entire time through training camp. They were on the cords and everything like that. So I knew they weren't going to be playing in today's game. There was a couple shockers on here. I'm surprised Bradley Anae is going to play because he was our 5th round pick when we got the draft with the CeeDee Lamb. So I think about 2 drafts ago, I want to say, or a draft and a half ago. But anyway, I'm surprised he didn't play. I really wanted him to go out there because I wanted to see what he's about. Josh Ball, kind of surprised too because I want to see what the offensive tackle online depth is going to be, because you know that's what exactly happened last year when both of our tackles went down, and it's going to look like that again this year. That hopefully, pray to God that none of our tackles go down, but if they do, we are in some deep trouble because our online depth our online tackle depth isn't really that good. So Francis Bernard is fine or whatever. We're fine at linebacker. We're gonna have Leighton Vander Esch, Jalen Smith, and Parsons out there today, so I'm not really tripping off that. So overall, preseason, I'm not going to really trip off preseason. I don't care about wins or losses. I never was a person who cared about whether or not we win all our preseason games or not. Preseason for every single 32 NFL club is to see what your depth looks like in your rookies and what they look like in your second-year players. And if they were rookies and again any PT, this is their time right now in the preseason to get their playing time and see what they're about. And you know, so the game is only like 30 minutes away, and I'll give you guys my thoughts and opinions about the game when it's done. See you guys later. Have a nice day. Bye. Hey, yo, what's up, YouTube, man? So I'm back in the second half of the video, man. The Hall of Fame game just ended, and the final score was 16-3. Pittsburgh won. So jumping right into it, man. So to start the first quarter, we were both on the ball, things like that. Micah Parsons, man, he's special so far. What he looks like one of our best linebackers already out there. But I'm not going to really get too hyped up about that right now, even though it's just the first. It's just the first preseason game. I got to see a lot more from him throughout in the preseason plus regular season. But so far, what he did today in the first quarters, leading into some of the Mike Parsons did well. He recovered a fumble, and he got the fumble because Mason Rudolph bobbled the snap, handed it off to Jace Claypool. Ball was on the ground. Mike Parsons recovered, and then after that, Dallas went down. They drove into the red area, and then you know how we normally are with Dak in and things like that. Not saying it's Dak's fault or anything like that, but Kellen Moore, his play calling down in the red area always it's kind of sketchy sometimes. He still has to work on that, even though he's a third-year offensive coordinator. So don't worry, he has plenty of time to always get better on that. And so, like I said in the first half, like I said that Tyron Smith and Josh Ball weren't there, but to start out the game, like when Dallas had most of the offensive starters. I'm talking about the offensive line, but the offensive starters, two stars went there, Zach Martin and Tyron. Tyron didn't start. Ty Nsekhe was in the free agent pickup that we picked up from, I believe, the Bills. So yeah, because I think he came from the Bills when we signed him. He had solid. He let up a sack. So then he let up a sack, but it wasn't really too disruption on his side. Connor McGovern filled in at right guard for Zach Martin. Offensive line was solid, but as soon as Ty Nsekhe and Lel Collins came out the game, as soon as they put back in Terrence Steele and Brandon Knight, same thing how it was last year with Dak and all the 45 quarterback circus that we had last year after Dak's injury, our offensive tackles are trash. I'm gonna say this right here, right now. We have to hope and pray to God that Tyron doesn't miss a lot of games and Lel misses no games, because if we put in these pedestrians back again like Terrence Steele and Brandon Knight, we're gonna be in some trouble exactly like last year. We're going to get ate up by every single pass rusher, edge rusher in the league, no matter whether he's a 7th DN on the depth chart or the top player on the depth chart like a Myles Garrett or whatever, those top tier pass rushers. We're going to be screwed. We do not have, other than Tyron, Lell, and then maybe Ty Nsekhe, after those 3 tackles, I don't know what Josh Ball looks like. So I'll hold out the verdict to whether or not Dallas needs to go out and find a serviceable tackle. But right now, it looks like we're going to need a serviceable tackle in case Ty Nsekhe or Lell or Tyron are not in the game. So, another point I want to get to, Ben DiNucci, man. Ben DiNucci is not going to make this roster. He is not going to make this roster, man. He's just... His throwing motion, it's possible in the NFL, but right now his throwing motion is trash. He has a sideways throwing motion. He needs to fix on that. It's possible in the NFL to change their throwing motion. Aaron Rodgers changed his throwing motion. There's a lot of people that change their throwing motion in the NFL, and Ben DiNucci is one of the many different quarterbacks in the league. He's one of them that needs to change his throwing motion if he wants to be successful. And also, he's holding on to the ball for too long. Even though our offensive line gave him no time to throw the ball, but there's sometimes where he's holding the ball for forever, and he's letting the pass rush get to him and things like that. So yeah, Ben DiNucci's not going to make the roster this year, not even practice squad, I don't believe. Defensive line, we didn't have a whole bunch of pass rushers or edge rushers today. Like I said, I wanted to see Bradley and I get some burn today, but he didn't. I don't know what the deal was up with him. But we had number 43. I forgot. I know his last name like Kamara. He's the edge rusher, 6'4". He was one of our pass rushers. But then we had a lot of big DNs, like our one tech, Brent Urban. He was playing DN, but normally in our regular season, he's going to be playing one tech to help stop the run. So we had a lot of our bigger 1 techs and 3 techs playing DN, so we're not going to see that. Gregory, he didn't play today. DeMarcus Lawrence didn't play. Like I said, I covered that earlier in the first half. But yeah, our pass rush was really non-existent in the Hall of Fame game today, which was kind of understandable because a lot of our pass rushers, we didn't have a lot of edge rushers, so I didn't really expect anything to get to the quarterback. Our DBs. So our DBs, they played well today. Maurice Kennedy, you guys might have known, and if you guys cover you guys pay attention to the Cowboys in training camp, Maurice Kennedy has gotten 3 interceptions in camp, 1 on Dak Prescott and a couple others on the backup quarterbacks like Garrett Gilbert and DiNucci and all things like that. So right now, they balled, man. He had a nice tackle for loss today in the game. Nahshon Wright, man, he got burnt today by Chase Claypool. And then that was the only time he really got beat, but he gave up on the play, and that's when and that's a lot of things with these young DBs, man. When they're rookies and they don't want to make mistakes. But man, if you're a DB, man, just go. Especially with all rookies, but especially my rookies, I want them to play balls to the wall. I always want them to make a play on every single ball, turn their head around, because Dallas's corners are known for not turning their head around. We only have like 1 of those, and Trevon Diggs is good at that because, being Nick Saban, with defense and everything like that, they teach that from them when they're freshmen coming out of high school, turn around and make it, turn your head around and make a play on the ball. So, Nahshon Wright, man, he just halted. He had a nice tackle. He's not afraid to tackle. I love that about my corners. I love when they want to tackle. So Nahshon Wright only got beat on 1 play, and then I think either Dwayne Haskins or Mason Rudolph tried to test him again, but they ended up throwing the ball out of bounds. So Nahshon Wright had a solid game today. He just got beat on that 1 play because Chase Claypool did push off, but Nahshon Wright was too worried about getting a flag. He should have just kept running and made a play on the ball. But it's fine. I'm not going to harp on that too much. It's his first preseason game, and he didn't play that much last year because of COVID and everything like that. So not really worried about that. So if he didn't, they didn't really throw the ball at him as much today. But one thing I did notice about today, with our defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, we played cover 3, so we're gonna let up a bunch of yards because earlier in the game we were playing deep. We were playing deep off the ball, and we was letting Chase Claypool and all the other receivers, the Steelers receivers, they was easily getting first down yards on out routes and hitches and curls and everything like that. So nobody really tested Bossman Fed on a deep ball today or a dig route or anything like that. So there's really no assessment on digs. Jabril, I'm not gonna say his last name because I don't want to be demonetized on YouTube, but the LSU 4th round steal that we got, Jabril C. He balled today, man. Like same thing, another linebacker not afraid to tackle. So man, Jabril is gonna push a lot of these linebackers like a Francis Bernard or Luke Gifford. He's gonna push a lot of these guys to being cut. Jalen Smith might not even make the roster because Jabril, if he keeps balling out like how he did today, if he keeps making these plays, man, I mean, Jalen Smith might be on his way out because let's see, in the fourth quarter, when the Pittsburgh Steelers were driving, and I believe this was after the muffed punt by number 16 Davis, our wide receiver. After he messed up the punt, Steelers had great field position. They were about to score, and it was a third down, and Joshua Dobbs rolled out the pocket to his right. Jabril ran out quickly, caught him, and disrupted the pass, and the quarterback had to throw it in the back of the end zone. So, and Jabril had a pretty nice tackle earlier in the same drive, but second down, so the down before that, he had a great little tackle, tackling the running back, I think Ben McFarland from Maryland. So, Jabril C, he balled out. That's another linebacker that's going to push the depth chart. Today I was mainly focused about the defense. I wasn't solely concerned on the offense because I know what the offense is going to look like when you have a CeeDee Lamb, a Michael Gallup, and a healthy Amari Cooper, Zeke Elliott, and then you get your offensive lineman back, your real offensive lineman back, like Lel Collins starts at right tackle, Tyler Biadasz, our center, left guard, Connor Williams, or Connor McGovern, whoever wins that spot, and we have Zach Martin, obviously. Or what my offense is going to look like healthy. So mainly I was looking at the defense. We're mainly young on that side of the ball. So then one more thing I'm about to cover, and then we're about to head out, man. And this will be my first, my post thoughts of the Cowboys. So, and then special teams, not great. So two things about Niswander. He's a natural punter, so I'm not gonna really get on him too much. But two things that the Cowboys need to do about the special teams, and then I'm mainly talking about Niswander. Niswander, either one, he can just work on his field goal kicking, or two, Dallas needs to go out there and find them a backup kicker for Greg Zuerlein in case that he doesn't make these games or he's not healthy or whatever. He has like lower body issues. So Dallas needs to fix their kicking game situation because Niswander missed too many extra points or field goals and things like that. Like he completely shanked one to the right before half, and then he shanked no, my bad. He didn't shank it. The Pittsburgh Steelers actually came in and they blocked that kick. So I can't really get on him about that one. But his punts, they were solid. But then he had one kind of punt where he kicked it to number 80 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he got dude made a play on the ball, caught the punt, and he wiggled through the special teams, and he got great field position again for the Steelers. So I mean, that's pretty much it, man. I wanna see. So for next preseason game, I believe that our next preseason game is on the 13th, so that'll be next Friday. And I want to see what I want to see Bradley and Nye. I want to see a lot more of my natural pass rushers out there on the field. I would love to see, and then normally the first preseason game, there's not going to be a lot of the ones playing in the first preseason game, but the second preseason game, you're probably going to see the ones out there for at least a quarter. So I want to see, of course, Micah Parsons out there again. I want him making plays again. Nashawn Wright. I want to see Diggs out there. I want to see a lot of the defense. I want to see a majority of the defense playing and starting out there because, I want this defense getting live game reps, live preseason expedition game reps. So that's why when it comes down to the regular season, there's no confusion, there's no blown coverages, there's no gashes in the run game, things like that. So I want to see a lot of the starting defense out there, except for like a DeMarcus Lawrence or Randy Gregory or whatever, things like that. But yeah, so next week we play the Arizona Cardinals, and yeah, thank you guys for tuning in and watching this late night video. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.